teenagers in high school just want to hang out with friends, go shopping, or go to the movies. These teens may also get in trouble a lot, whether with the police or their parents. They also may not know how to manage their time effectively. Also, they may not be as responsible or as independent as they should be at their age. Teens that have jobs or are involved in activities in high school may learn many important lessons that will help them in the future. These teens will learn how to manage their time effectively. They'll have to finish all their homework around their activities and work schedules. These teens also will learn how to be responsible. If they're involved in sports, they'll have to be to games and practices on time, and if they have a job, they'll have to be professional and work hard. Lastly, these teens will most likely stay out of trouble. Teenagers who are involved in activities tend to stay out of trouble. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, teens who do not participate in activities in high school are 57% more likely to drop out of high school. One major reason why student athletes tend to stay out of trouble is because if they do get into trouble with the police, then they have to sit out a certain amount of games and practices as a punishment. And since most athletes don't want to stay out from their sports, then they avoid parties and anywhere that they could get into trouble. Also, the more activities that teenagers are involved in, the less free time that they have to go out and party or get in trouble. With this minimal free time, students will need to know how to manage their time effectively so they can keep up with their schoolwork. High school athletics, as well as jobs, teach teenagers how to effectively manage their time. If a student plays basketball and works, he or she may go to school and then go to practice and then have to go to work. And if they got assigned any homework during that day, they'll have to go home and do all their work before they go to school again tomorrow so they can stay caught up. These students may not be able to hang out with friends as much during the week because during that free time, they'll have to do all their homework to stay caught up. If student athletes fall behind in a class or their grades slip, they also may have to sit out from that sport until they can bring up that grade, which is why they typically do better in school. When I was in high school, I was involved in dance and basketball at the same time. I also had a part-time job, so I would wake up at 5 a.m., get ready for dance, go to dance at 6, go to school at 8, and then after school I would go immediately to basketball practice, and then go to work after that until around 11 p.m., and then I'd have to do any of my homework that I had from that day, and then do the same thing the next day. With my busy schedule, I would work on homework in classes that I had free time, or I even brought homework to work with me a couple times, and I did it on break. Along with good time management, I became very responsible. Time management comes hand in hand with responsibility. Student athletes and working students need to be very responsible. Personally, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. and be at practice by 6 a.m., and since it was so early, nobody in my house was awake. So I had to set a couple alarms in the morning to make sure that I was awake, and I couldn't rely on my mom to wake me up every morning because she was already asleep. I also had to make sure that I had everything I needed for dance and basketball practices, as well as all of my schoolwork that I had done the night before. I even made my own lunch every morning before I had to go to dance. Students that have jobs in high school also learn how to be responsible. They have to work on time. They have to be to work on time and be sure that they are there every day that they're scheduled during the week. They'll also have to be responsible while they're at work. They may have to keep a certain section clean wherever they work, or they'll have to have good customer service. It just depends on the type of job that they work at. In conclusion, as someone who was very active in sports and had a job in high school, I strongly encourage students to be as busy as possible through their 4 years of high school. Students who participate in sports will learn life lessons that will help them in college, in their careers, and in life. I know students just want to have fun and spend time with their friends, but sports are fun, and if their friends do participate as well, then it's a great way to spend time together and stay active at the same time. Thanks.